From fame to fatigue. In today's episode, we're going to talk about three superstars, Selena Gomez, Sandra Bullock, and Beyonce, and how they recognized that they were having burnout, the steps that they took to be able to recover from it, and what we can learn from them. Burnout is something that affects everyone, no matter if you're a global superstar or in the healthcare industry or an educator or a pastor. It affects so many people on so many different levels, depending on the type of industry that you're in. In fact, it's estimated that 70% of people will experience burnout at least once in their lifetime. So the first celebrity we're going to talk about is Beyonce. She is the queen of all things music and certainly a household name. Beyonce in 2011 took an entire year off because of professional burnout. She said that her busy schedule just left her feeling overwhelmed, exhausted, and disconnected. Those are definitely three very key things. I think when you start to feel very disconnected, whether it's from other people that you should be close to or even from yourself, and even disconnected from your work, you can almost start to disassociate from it because it's just so overwhelming. And I love the fact that she recognized that she needed a break and that she canceled everything for a year. And what's cool about that is when she came back on tour in 2012, she put out a single that became one of her best-selling singles. So obviously the rest did her a world of good. And since then, I think she's taken the lesson to heart. There's been other times that she's canceled shows and tours, recognizing that she needed to really stop and give herself rest and focus on her mental well-being. The next celebrity we're going to take a look at is Sandra Bullock. I love Sandra Bullock. She's one of my favorite actresses and obviously one of America's sweethearts when it comes to that. She's won multiple Academy Awards and she is just one of the most beloved actresses of all time. But in 2022, Sandra Bullock recognized she was in total burnout. And just to read a quote, she openly discussed this, and she said she was taking an indefinite hiatus from acting. She expressed feeling overwhelmed and unable to make sound decisions, stating, "I'm so burnt out, I'm so tired, and I'm so not capable of making healthy, smart decisions, and I know it." Really respect her for acknowledging that and for being willing to take a step back from such an amazing career to really get healthy again and to be able to get her well-being back and reconnect with her kids and just reconnect with herself. The third celebrity we're going to talk about is Selena Gomez. So she has not only had an incredible career with her music and acting, but she's got over 113 million fans that follow her on Instagram. So that's kind of a lot of pressure for anyone. So it's no wonder that this young actress and singer, eventually started to really feel the pressure. And she talked about how she would start to have panic attacks or anxiety attacks before she would get on stage, or even when she would come off stage, it would hit her then. And, she realized she really needed some serious help at one point and checked herself into a facility in Tennessee for 90 days to be able to really get help and to be able to recover her mental and emotional well-being. So the thing I love about Selena Gomez is how proactive she's been since her experience with burnout to really put things into play in her own life to make sure that she doesn't go back to that level of burnout again. So one of the things she talks about doing is setting healthy boundaries and then scheduling breaks from work so that she can get out and just enjoy life and be with friends and family and really do things that are going to nurture her own heart and soul. And that's so important for all of us. Another thing she talks about is doing grounding techniques. So this can be different things depending on what you're into. Some people talk about, walking on the grass barefoot, and that can be very grounding. She also talked about doing things like journaling and managing anxiety through just writing things out. I know for myself, when I went through burnout and was going through cognitive behavioral therapy, they actually had me have a worry journal, and I would write down things I was worried about because it kind of tells your brain that you can let that go, like you've taken care of it because you wrote it down. So it will help your brain to stop cycling and thinking about that thing over and over. And then I had a gratitude journal, and then I had just my Spill Your Guts journal. So I had all kinds of journals going on. You can also, number 3, she talks about building a support group around you of just close friends, people that you trust, people that really have your back, that really care deeply for you, and that are trustworthy, people that can handle whatever it is that you need to share. Selena Gomez also advocates to make people aware of mental health issues. So she has something called Rare Impact Fund that she set up that allows her to be able to help pour back into other people that are going through really tough situations, and really trying to raise awareness about how mental health is such an issue in today's society, where we're all so overworked and we're plugged in all the time. If not to a computer or the TV, then we're plugged into our phone. And it can be so constant, and it's so important to unplug and get away from all of that for a while. There are 6 different types of therapy that Selena Gomez has pursued that have been helpful to her. The first is called dialectical behavioral therapy. It's basically a structured therapy that focuses on mindfulness, emotional regulation, and interpersonal skills. She really credits this type of therapy with helping her better understand and manage her emotions. The second is cognitive behavioral therapy. So she talks about how this has really helped her to identify and reframe negative thought patterns. It's also reduced feelings of stress and anxiety, and she says that this has been a real cornerstone for her journey to mental well-being. The third is she did trauma-focused therapy. After her lupus diagnosis and her public scrutiny, she worked with therapists who helped her process trauma and learn how to build resilience. The fourth is inpatient mental health treatment. At various points, she's attended mental health treatment centers for a deeper, more immersive approach to be able to manage her stress and anxiety. The fifth is mindfulness and meditation practices. She practices mindfulness exercises, including grounding techniques to stay present and reduce feelings of being overwhelmed. The sixth is emotional healing through creativity. She's used songwriting and other creative outlets as therapeutic tools to process her emotions. And I can relate to that one as well. I love to paint, and a lot of times paint or write about things that are really hard to put into words sometimes, and that can be extremely helpful. So I just love that she's been so open about all the different things that she's done to really, get better. And at different points in her life, there were different types of therapies that really spoke to that particular issue. So I just think that her journey reflects a huge commitment to just wanting to really regain her emotional, mental, and physical well-being. And I think it's an excellent example for all of us that we can all learn a lot, that when you have a will to get better, you will find a way to get better, and you'll find the therapies and the things that work for you. And I think it's just important to know that there's a lot of different resources out there. So let's talk about some ways to combat burnout. Practically speaking, there are so many things you can do, but you have to start with baby steps. So the first one, and the most important one, is learning to set healthy boundaries on your time. So you've got to give yourself some time to be able to take care of yourself, whether that's time to journal, whether that's time to do something creative or learn a new skill, take a new class so that it forces you to schedule that time away and do something that you would enjoy. Maybe take a cooking class or a painting class, or go do a yoga class or something like that. Really practicing self-care is so important. It can even be things like having a bubble bath, or doing, I've got a friend that does cold plunging, and it sounds like torture to me, but I have to say I started doing kind of a cold shot at the end of my shower every morning, and that's been really interesting. So I sit there and count and try to see if I can make it to 3 minutes with the freezing cold water pounding on me. So even something like that can be very grounding and very good for you, and it can help move, like drain your lymphatic system and stuff. So there's a lot of different things you can do. I've heard, again, walking barefoot out in nature can be very grounding. Just getting out in nature can be grounding. Scheduling time to go take walks or just get out on hikes definitely if you're able to schedule a break or a vacation, that can be extremely helpful. One thing I will say though is sometimes it can actually be stressful if you're trying to plan a vacation and you pack a lot of stuff in and you come back and you're totally exhausted. So just really be mindful of how much you're putting into that vacation so that you definitely have that time to really rest and decompress. So another thing that you can do is just, getting time with friends. Pick a few really close, trusted friends and just share your heart, share what you're going through. And you'd be surprised how people will show up for you when you're really willing to share kind of what's going on and how people can relate to that as well. So having that inner circle of friends is really, really huge. Another thing that can be super helpful is just really taking that time to exercise and to really eat properly. And if you're having digestive issues, I would say definitely get on some good probiotics, maybe even some prebiotics. I know myself, I work with a really good naturopath, and my daughters have worked with functional medicine docs before that have really helped us just in terms of maintaining gut health. And that is so big because your brain and gut are connected. And so if your gut's out of whack, it actually affects your brain quite a lot and your ability to think and process. So that's a really big one. The other thing that you can do is if you're having like the eye burning, like what I was having, it got to where I wouldn't even watch TV at night because my eyes were just on fire from staring at a computer for work and then driving and staring at my phone for the map and whatever else. So I just had to really take a break from screen time as much as possible because I needed to rest my eyes. So if you're having burning eyes or watery eyes, make sure that you're giving them time to rest and maybe paint or go for a walk or do something that has nothing to do with screens for a while. Another thing you can do is you can incorporate deep breathing. So I love the 4 square breathing exercise, and I shared about that in another video, but it's very, very simple technique that they actually teach to the military when they're going into dangerous combat zones. So you can actually Google several different deep breathing exercises and pick the one that resonates and helps you the most. Another thing that you can do is yoga or Pilates, where you're really getting into your mind-body connection and your breathing. And that has also been extremely helpful for me and very grounding as well. But I will say, if you're really finding yourself struggling, it is so key to get some professional help. And again, get some cognitive behavioral therapy or one of these other types of therapies that we talked about. And I've got a resource that I'll put in the PDF below so that if you would like to, find a more inexpensive way to get some counseling, there are some resources that are available for like $100 a month. You can have unlimited access to different counselors and do cognitive behavioral therapy and different things like that. But last of all, I just want to say this. I know a lot of people, especially nurses and doctors. In fact, today I was on the phone with an emergency room doctor, and we've become friends, and we're in the same mastermind group together. And she was just sharing how, she and her husband are both doctors and make incredible money. But just because of the cost of living and, they've got children and a couple of their children have some medical issues. And she really needs to be home more to be present with her children because they really need her. And so she's trying to find a way to be able to work more remotely so that she can have that precious time with her family. So if you can relate to my friend the doctor who just really wants to figure out how to collapse time frames and how to work smarter so she doesn't have to trade so much time away from her family that really needs her in order to create that income, then I would love to share the blueprint that both she and I are working off of in order to create an online business that works through something called automations. And so what that means, it's kind of like having employees that work for you 24/7, that never have a sick day, they never take vacation days, and they always do their job correctly. And that's what automations are. They're pre-built sales funnels. And with this program, it's a turnkey business. So you will get the resale rights to 4 in-demand, high-ticket, done-for-you digital products. And this is called the Legacy Builder Program. And every time somebody makes a sale, because you have the master resale rights, 100% of the profit goes directly into your bank account. So there's no splitting the commission out. So it's not like affiliate marketing or drop shipping or doing any of the Amazon stuff where you only get a small percentage of the commission. You actually get to keep 100% of the commission because you own this product and you own the rights to sell it over and over again. So with 5 billion people on social media and really easy to follow video tutorials and world-class coaching in our community by a multimillionaire, I feel like anyone has a shot at success with this business. And digital marketing in 2019 for the whole year brought in $950 million. But what's crazy is after COVID happened in 2020, everything went online and the e-learning business went absolutely crazy. So by 2024, digital marketing has been bringing in $1.2 billion per day as an industry. But what's even crazier is it's expected to grow to $3 billion per day by 2027. So talk about being in the right place at the right time. I just felt like this was too good of an opportunity to pass up. And it's been really fun just, learning how to do the business and learning how to create content and, locking arms with some pretty amazing people internationally even to just really cheer each other on towards success. So again, if this is part of the reason that you're burned out because you're just feeling really stuck in a career or a job, or you've got those golden handcuffs and you need to bring in a certain amount of money, but quitting your job is not even an option, or you're, quitting your career or your business because you just need that money coming in consistently, then why not try something like this on the side and just give it a shot? So if you like the information, again, type Blueprint in the comments below, or feel free to visit us on the web at www.nobossdailypay.com. And if you put your email in, there's a video that will play that kind of explains how the program works. And you have options of which program you would like to buy. Our top selling product is the $900 Legacy Builder Program product. And again, I love that there's a great tech support team in place, so I don't have to be tech support or even know tech stuff because I'm not a tech savvy person at all. And it's just been a lot of fun. So hopefully today's video was helpful if you're experiencing professional burnout, or maybe caretaker burnout if you've got someone at home that you're taking care of, and I know that can create a lot of burnout as well. So hopefully this has just been informative and helpful, and catch us on the next episode because I am going to be interviewing my friend, the emergency room doctor. So I'm excited to put that one out there for everyone, and just hope you have a blessed day. Thanks.